I bought a house in Cabo to shake off my cargo. It went a little bit far though. I didn't blow my top off. 9-6 by Arsenal. I didn't drive my car home when I drank that charcoal. Man, I miss my mom so. Ask me how it feels. I say it feels too real. When you pick up speed towards pitch black weed. Well, you got your thoughts. All the in there deep. What about your heart? Does it beat too hard? Mine does. Mine does. Mine does. Mine does. I ran around Lake Tahoe. Not once, don't stop, no. Cause I'm a brand new model with a brand new model. Yeah, I called up Carlos. Said I won't be calling. He said in my old tempo. It wouldn't make much sense, so yeah. Ask me how it feels. I say it feels surreal. When you pick up speed towards the pitch black weed. When you got your thoughts. Are they in there deep? What about your heart? Does it beat too hard? Mine does. Mine does. Mine does. Mine does.
It's Tuesday night, Forza Motorsport Spec Racing here live on Twitch TV. Let's get it going. AMS Storm now here on lap number 34 of 34, jumps into the top spot. And here comes Maverick now, going to make a run to the inside. Drex perhaps missing his mark. Hello, race fans all over the world. Good afternoon, good evening, maybe good morning to you wherever you are. This is not the right backdrop. Not at all. Let's try this again. Hey, race fans, how you doing this evening? I'm Dustin Moore. Welcome to X-Venture Live on Twitch TV. I've only been doing this for almost 18 seasons. Almost. Appreciate you being here. Foodtang is in the chat. Also, Buggy Chicken was here earlier, and hopefully we'll have some folks joining us here not too long because the racing is about to go underway here at the top of the hour, and I'm ready for it. Week number 2, season 46 of the Forza Spec Racing Series. We had at least in my mind, a terrific start to the season. Yes, it is the Cadillac XTS Limousine, and you might be thinking, oh my gosh, that is just going to be chaos. Well, it's been anything but. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings here. Coming out of, well, never mind. My Steam Deck is just all... Not Steam Deck. That's a handheld gaming device. My Stream Deck is all kinds of goofed up here today. All right, LS Subaru at the top of the leaderboard. No surprise there after winning both races. Week number 1 out at Hockenheimring and then Maple Valley. A couple of wins will yield you 50 points. 50 points per victory. That's why LS Subaru right there at the top. At the century mark, 100. Fear the Fun with 94, and you can see there, Fear the Fun has been marked 2 second-place finishes in week number 1, which may come as a surprise to some of the viewers that are familiar with all of our drivers, because that's usually the spot there for Cratrium. It's usually the spot for AMS Storm, when we had AMS Storm here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. Of course, AMS Storm would be in the number 1 spot, though, too, from time to time. Hold on, I got to get in the lobby here. They were a little bit delayed in getting the lobby open, but it is now open, so I want to make sure that we get that much accomplished, because that's a very important part of broadcasting any race here this evening, is that I must be present and accounted for with the race. All right, looks like we're connecting. All right, then you got Audrex there, 88 points, tied with Onion with too many eyes. Cratrium, who I mentioned we traditionally see in second place behind LS Subaru, at least for the last 4 seasons. Cratrium is 5th, 80 points. Patches Riley with 72, Kuda 93 with 68, Slow Motion Fire at 64, Test at 60, Virus Dots at 56, and then we've got the other 3 drivers with points to their name, and 3 that are registered here for season 46 but have not yet participated. What do we have on tap for you here this evening? A couple of racetracks known as Homestead, the Speedway Oval Circuit, 46 laps. Silverstone National Circuit, 29 laps. That'll be in the evening. And that'll be tonight's action. Again, in the Cadillac XTS Limousine. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure how things will transpire here at the Oval. You know, you had a couple of road courses for us. I guess Maple Valley doesn't really count as a road course. It's just a fictional track. I don't know. But Hockenheim Ring was beautiful. Lots of room, big track. It was the full circuit. It's here at the Oval that I'm a little concernicus about what the XTS is going to be capable of, along with the drivers themselves, the stretched out car. Silverstone National shouldn't be too bad. The disadvantage for us as the viewers is that it will be at night, so a bit dark there. But thankfully, we've got the overhead gamer tag labels over the vehicles that, they'll tell us who's who. It's going down, says Ghibli Giblets. 300 thou on Born as Ghost. You've got this. I don't know that Born as Ghost. I think Born as Ghost is out tonight. It seems like a lot of drivers, surprisingly, are out tonight after what was, in my opinion, again, such a successful week number 1. I'm looking through the FM4 Discord, and so apologies as you continue to see the schedule. I'll go ahead and flip over to the standings for you. I'm looking to see where everybody might be, because it is definitely a smaller contingent of racers compared to what we had in week number 1. Perhaps, so Fear the Fun will be out. Slow Motion Fire is out. So the 2 organizers and Modern Weapon, who also helps out, acts as a backup, is out this evening. But as I look at the lobby at this moment, we've got Cratrium, Audrex, LS Subaru, Kuda, Virus Dots, Patches Riley, and Test. EWM Frog says, missed last week's race. Looking forward to seeing the limos. Yeah, last week was very, very good. So it's a little different here tonight. A little different. An oval, and then Silverstone, I guess, is kind of akin to Hockenheim Ring. A flat racing surface with some corners, not as long as Hockenheim Ring, considerably shorter a track. And again, that'll be for 29 laps at Silverstone, 46 at Hockenheim Ring. All right, so we've got a predictor there in the chat for you. If you'd like to participate, that'll be closing up here in about, looks like maybe 8 minutes and 20 so seconds. Asking if Subaru will qualify on pole. Will Subaru come out of qualifying with the top qualifying time? 30% right now are saying that LS Subaru will, in fact, be on pole, while 71% of the vote says no. He'll be beyond that. Not going to get pole this time, which is quite a surprise because in addition to LS Subaru's winning streak, I think Subaru has also had quite the streak as it relates to top qualifying time. So quite a few of y'all going out on a limb there that Subaru's not going to make it happen. All right. We'll see. It's got to end at some point, right? It has to end at some point. I will be back a week from tonight for week number 3. That marks the midway point here of season 46. I'll also be streaming here this coming Friday at about 5 p.m. Eastern time with some Microsoft Flight Simulator. I kind of put it off for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and this week I'm pretty committed to it. I think we'll do some flying. I'm not entirely sure where, but come join me here on Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern, if you've got the time, and we'll do a little bit of sim flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Then, SnowRunner Sunday returns to Sunday after being on Saturday this past week in observance of Mother's Day. And so SnowRunner Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern this coming Sunday. Looking forward to that. And then I already talked about next Tuesday, week number 3. And then, I don't know, maybe looking into June or July here. Perhaps we'll get a special event stream going for you all. All right, here goes the countdown. We're going to rock and roll with the 7 driver. We've got about half the field that we had last week. That's a little saddening. But it appears that some folks had unavoidable real-world things going on, which that always should take precedent. All right, virus dots here at Homestead. Overcast skies, no rain. While it can rain here at Homestead in Forza Motorsport 7, there will be no precipitation this race. Virus dots, like I said, first one off the line, going to lead them around. We'll go ahead and throw the stats there in the bottom left-hand corner because this should go pretty quick. As a matter of fact, there's still 5.5 minutes remaining on the predictor. Yeah, for those of you who already voted, hey, you're locked in. Kratium says, we're going. I'm here. I'm right here with you. You're going. I'm going. Virus Dots is going across the line with a 48.875. Patches Riley now about a second quicker, 47.5. Then here comes LS Subaru with a 47.1. It is Patches Riley who has, well, Audrex now takes the top spot with a 45.457. Good enough for pole right now. That was off the standing start lap. Next time by will be their white flag here in qualifying. 3 qualifying laps. The first one, your standing start. The other 2 are your flying laps. And there goes LS Subaru now with a 38.320. LS Subaru snatching that number 1 spot. At least for now. Let's go to CUDA 93 in the Michelin XTS. Down the back straightaway here at Homestead. Not too far from the Miami Formula One race that happened this past weekend, which apparently was a roaring success. Apparently, I only saw bits of the race, the beginning and the end. There goes CUDA across the line. Not going to be able to top LS Subaru's quickest lap, a 38.061. LS Subaru even able to shave a few tenths of a second off there. And we take a look at the post-qualifying results, 38.848 there for Virus Dots. Patches Riley. We'll go ahead and we'll end submissions on that. Patches Riley with a 38.0, Subaru with a 38.061, 38.111 there for CUDA 93. Test with a 38.3, Kratium at 38.2, Audrex 38.1. For those of you who said that Subaru would qualify pole, congratulations. You know how to predict the weather in the middle of the Gobi Desert. If you say it's not going to rain in the desert, you're probably right. All right, let's go ahead and figure out another one here. Well, let's just keep the theme going. Let's see how many of y'all are daring to go against LS Subaru once again. Who will win at Homestead? Will it be LS Subaru? And look at this. Twitch has given me ways to add additional options. No longer are we relegated to just 2 options. We can now make this 3. How many more? Can I do another? 4, 5, 6? Oh my gosh. Well, geez, let's do this. Virus. Let's give this betting setup a try. Patches Riley. I think I can get everybody in here. Kuda 93. Test 336. And then Odd Drex. And I think that's everybody. 7 drivers. Of the 7 who qualified, there are still only 7 in the lobby. So I'm going to go ahead and run this predictor. If anybody else jumps in, well, guess what? If they win, nobody gets their points back. But there you go. You've got 7 different drivers to choose from in this predictor. Never has this been possible with predictors in the past. So please, let's make good use of the feature while we have it. Again, I'm Dustin Moore. Thanks for tuning in. Xventure here on Twitch TV. Yeah, it's going to probably be one of those nights, a little bit more chill, a little bit more relaxed. It seems like the number of drivers that we've got tonight is just not going to match up to what we had there in week number 1. Again, it seems like even within the ranks of the organizers here of the Forza Spec Racing Series, there's unavailability, and instead, Cratrim is stepping up. Cratrim, a longtime veteran, actually has the most championships within the FM4 series, helping to make sure that everything runs unimpeded. Just because the world stops and people are going to turn their attention to something else doesn't mean we don't get the racing here on a Tuesday night, right? That's how we get through the week. Is we get through Tuesday. Monday's okay. Tuesday's race night here with FM4, and then the rest of the week is not too bad. Wednesday, hump day. You're halfway through. Thursday's good, especially Thursday evening, and then Friday. Big J Bishop says, I'm in Tampa tonight. Hope they have a good race. Yeah, I saw that. So sad that you won't be out here on the track. And, of course, in the driver's spotlight, which, by the way, I should have looked over there. I will look over there. Kuda93 is patiently waiting for me. Kuda93, a little bit lighter of a pack out there, especially at Homestead, where if we had the same number of drivers that we had in week number 1, would have looked pretty crowded out there, but you had a chance to look into the corners, at least all 4 of them, pretty well unaffected.
Hey, I will take the free points. People can skip more often if they want.
Well, what we need is for LS Subaru to skip, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Patches got really close with his qualifying time. We may actually have a battle.
Very good. Well, let's see here. I show that you got a 38.111. Where does that put you on row 3? Row 2? Row
Should
3?
be starting 3rd there.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say maybe right there toward the end of row 2, beginning of row 3, but you are in fact in P3. So, I mean, a limousine around a Homestead Oval. How's the experience? What's the driving like?
Well, so I'm also using a wheel, which I almost never do. So it's very, everything is unknown tonight.
And so you can get your very lucrative sponsorship deal. What racing wheel are you running with tonight?
I have a Logitech.
There you go, Logitech.
I've had it for a while. I just almost never use it, just because at road courses I am way slower with it. But here it's kind of an advantage, so you can be as smooth as possible.
Yeah, and I know we've talked to you before about using the wheel. Why is it that you use it so infrequently? Is it because setting it up is just a first world problem of ours that we're like, oh, we got to get the equipment out? Or is it just genuinely you're quicker on ovals with the steering wheel, but then faster on the road courses with the joysticks?
It's a little bit of both. It is a little bit of a hassle to set up and tear down, and I tend to be about a second faster with a controller on a road course, so never taken the time to sit down and really dial it in or learn how to use it for a road course very well.
Okay. And it looks like a lot of the drivers readying up here, almost about ready to hit the track here for 46 laps around Homestead. There's only 7 of you here tonight, so can you make it into the top half?
I hope so. If qualifying any hint at it, hopefully I'll be at least top 5, but we'll try for a podium.
That is the trick, to stay there in the top 3, top 5 here throughout the race. All right there, Kuda. Well, best of luck to you on the wheel, and maybe we'll chat afterward.
Thank you very much.
All right, there you go. We get one driver, even though the attendance is low here tonight. That doesn't mean that we can't get somebody in the driver's spotlight to have a word with us. Dustin, you are very quiet. I did drop the volume down a little bit so as not to. I was kind of peaking on some of the more recent streams, so I don't know if you're able to turn the volume up. But if it's an issue universally with those in the chat, please let me know and I can bump up my volume. I just brought it back a little bit. It shouldn't have been a lot, but I brought it down enough that it avoids peaking here. I don't know if there was an update that affected my headset, my microphone, or what. But I'm trying to avoid like the loud pops and distortion of the microphone. All right, Cratrim says we're good to go. So we're, there's the countdown. Ready to rock and roll here. 46 laps at Homestead. And if you were here for week 1, you'll remember that we had not fuel issues, but tire degradation issues up front. If anybody else could tell me, how does the audio sound? Do I need to bring it back up a little bit, or are we good? And actually, my apologies. I think I know what happened there. I had the audio flip-flopped. The game audio was much louder, and the interview was much louder than I. Thank you, Frog. Appreciate it. All right, here we go. LS Subaru will kick things off here in pole position. Kick the tires, light the fires. Week number 2, season 46, and the Cadillac XTS is underway here live on Twitch TV X Venture. Thank you very much, Spax907, for the follow. I'll give you, there you go. There's the air wrench a second time, but with the nice little pop-up there at the bottom of the screen, the graphic. Appreciate it, and welcome to the channel. LS Subaru taking them down the back straightaway here at Homestead. The clouds remain overhead as they head into turn number 3. It's going to be Subaru. Patches Riley. Audrex, Kuda93, who we just talked to, drops to 4th. Cratrim in 5th. Let's go back to Cratrim here, who's just outright struggling in the Cadillac XTS. There's no other way to put it. Cratrim is not having a good time here. 2 races in, and now 1.5 laps in to the Homestead event. So where I was going with that tire degradation comment is we can anticipate at least one pit stop here throughout the course of this race. Let's go ahead and ride on board here with Cratrim. Little bumping there with Test as they get through turn 3, then 4, back toward the start-finish line. LS Subaru remains our race leader here. Audrex in second, Patches Riley in third, Cuda 93 in fourth, and Test in fifth, followed by Creator and Byerstots sixth and seventh, respectively. Right now, 58% of you in the predictor are seeing that LS Subaru is going to win this race, followed by 22% toward Cratrium, 21% behind Patches Riley, and no votes for Audrex, who, as I mentioned, is currently running in second. I don't think you can divvy up your. Your vote, right? You can't put some here and some there. It's just one. Once you select one, you're locked in. All right, out of turn 3 they go. Excuse me, out of turn 2. Toward turn 3. Graytrim still back there in 6th position. Let's go to second with Audrex. Not yet challenging for the lead in the Peepoo car, but let's see. See if he gets a little help there from Patches Riley. How much will the slipstream of the Cadillac XTS factor into this one over the course of the race? And because I mentioned tire degradation, let's go ahead and take a look and see what we see. Whoop, that's not what I'm looking for at all. Let's try that again. Up to 5.6% here on Audrex's front right wheel. That front right wheel is the wheel that we'll be watching for. Because as they go into the left-handers, that being all, the only orientation of a turn here at Homestead on the oval is a left-hander. That front right tire will definitely be suffering the forces of the heavy Cadillac XTS weighing down on it. I say heavy, 4,300 pounds. That's 4,351 to be exact. 298 foot-pounds of torque powering the XTS at the front wheels. 383 horsepower brings the XTS here in FM4 Season 46 to C500. DWM Frog telling me there in the chat, yes, you can only choose one. So, okay, even though they've added more options, you can't divvy up your channel points. Pardon me, it apparently can only go to one. Got it. Very good. Got a train of limos here down the back straightaway at Homestead as everybody decides to go into single file formation. Audrex still in second place. Patches Riley in third. Cuda 93, who we talked to, qualified in third, currently running in fourth. Test in fifth. Craytrib still back there in sixth, unable to make a move. Byerstots in seventh, and really that is the curious thing, is like, how do you make a move in the giant limousine? Because you don't have the clearance. You don't have the same kind of clearance. Well, Patches Riley is going to try to demonstrate for us. Going down to the inside line here on Audrex on the back straightaway, and just doesn't have enough oomph to get all, I don't know, 12, 13, 15 feet of XTS to make a pass around Audrex. Let's go ahead and ride on board with Patches Riley. And either LS Subaru was pulling a blocking maneuver or was trying out a different line. I'm going to say it was probably the former, as Audrex now is going to try to take a stab at the lead here. Rolling up onto LS Subaru, and actually it's back to back to back, bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper. Right? Is that the right number of bumpers? There should be 4. Into turn 3, turn 4. 4 bumpers, one being the back of LS Subaru, Audrex's front and rear, and Patches Riley's front bumper. And back behind them, kind of just scouting things out, is going to be Cuda 93. If he can try to keep pace, get into that slipstream, and not fall off too far. Falling off is where we currently find Test and Cratrium. This is going to be one of those events. I feel like this is one of those races where your adversary can actually be your friend for a bit. Your foe can be your friend. If you say, hey, I need a little help. We both could use a little help. Playing catch up to the front of the pack. And so we'll see if it's not a little bit cooperative right now. And then perhaps as we get closer to that 46th and final lap, maybe a little bit more contested. Going back to Audrex here in the vehicle's diagnostics, 13%, at least coming up on it. There it was, 13% on that front right. That degradation continues to factor in. So 13% here on lap number 13. If we're estimating about 1% per lap, well, then that won't be too bad. But I feel like it'll start kicking in a little bit better, a little stronger here as they go. The tire wear will start to come on a little quicker, I think, as they continue to run around at a unchecked speed. I don't know that they're even letting off the accelerator here. Let's give it a shot. Let's take a look. Let's see what we can find out here. I'm down to test the feature out. I normally just kind of stick to what I know, but let's see. You can see there on the right-hand side, 100% throttle. And as we enter turn number 3, coming off the throttle a little bit, only because LS Subaru entered the direction of travel, I think. We'll see if that is the case here in turn number 1. And yeah, letting off as much as 30% of the throttle. Not fully letting off, but just backing off enough. Very cool. An underused and admittedly probably an underappreciated feature here on the channel. I should make better use of that here throughout the broadcast. As they come up to the line here for the end of lap 16, beginning of lap 17. Again, it is a 46 lap race. That 47th that you see there in the upper left, that is just the cool down lap. So we'll race to the end of lap 46, and will there be a pit stop involved? Nobody has had to go in for an unscheduled pit stop, which is great. That means everybody able to keep their limo off the wall, or at least able to do so in a way that is avoiding damage. And we see a few dents, a few scratches, a few bruises from car to car, but really, everybody seems to be getting around the track with relative ease. Now here they go into turn number 1. Audrex on the low line. LS Subaru is going to stay at the midline here as they go through 1. A little bit of scraping there. You see the sparks through turn number 2. Back out onto the rear straightaway. Side by side. Down the stretch they come. Patches Riley there in 3rd position. Cuda 93 has fallen out of the picture a bit more. It looks like maybe, I'm going to say 1 or 2 car lengths, but remember, these are limousines, so the length of a limousine back there is Cuda 93. And now here they come across the line. Audrex is going to drop back a little bit, but he's going to stay on that low side. Try to line it up there on the rear left quarter panel of LS Subaru. Unable to get there. LS Subaru drops it down toward the apex. Able to hold a good steady line down there. Not letting Audrex get by. And as a result, Audrex jumps back off of the rear bumper of Subaru and out in front of Patches Riley. Patches Riley unable to capitalize from that. And now here comes Subaru, way down low, while Audrex attempts a mid to high line maneuver. And as a result, Patches Riley gets out in front. Audrex now going to come up onto the rear bumper of Patches. Let's see if he can get a little push going into turn number 1. And let's see, let's get a better camera view here on the rear, on the front bumper of Audrex, who now finds himself in P3. I have to imagine that LS Subaru is eking out every bit of performance of that Cadillac XTS. It just so happens that this particular race, what it's going to come down to is who's able to modulate that throttle the best through the corners, and then whose steering is maybe a little bit more smooth, and who's got aerodynamics working in their favor. LS Subaru, Patches Riley in second, riding on board right now with Audrex. Kuda 93 not far behind in fourth. Then it's Cratrum, who's finally made a move around Test for fifth. Test in sixth now, holding off Virus Thoughts. What a race this is going to be. I mean, sure, I think all of us can nod our head in agreement that it would be nice to see the 14 drivers or 13 drivers, whatever it was that we had there in week number 1 out here on the track at Homestead. Twice the number that we've got out there right now, but we'll take what we can get. And this battle for P1 is likely to go all the way to the end, which means we have no shortage of excitement here out on the Homestead Speedway Oval, Season 46, week number 2, race number 3. And again, I'm Dustin Moore. Great to have you here, and if you have not yet already clicked the follow button like Spax907 has done, please consider doing so, and if you do, you'll get a nice little alert on the bottom of the screen. I'll give you a shout out, and that's all we'll do. We won't make a big fuss out of it. Just trying to have a good time and acknowledging the folks who are supporting the channel with their viewership as we go into turn number 3. Here comes Patches Riley now on the low line. I don't think we've seen anybody attempt the low line pass, the pass through turn 3 and 4, that is. 1 and 2 we certainly have with Audrex. Now Audrex, no bump drafting as of yet. At least not that I've noticed. Oh, Patches Riley gets onto the backside, that rear left quarter panel of Subaru. And I was fearing for Subaru there that tail end of the limo would kick out. It did not. And instead, LS Subaru keeps the front end of the car pointed in the right direction. And it looks like our predictor has closed. 58% of the vote goes to LS Subaru, 22% with Cratrum, 21% with Patches Riley. And that's it. Those are the 3 drivers that the channel points have been wagered on. Virus Thoughts, Kuda 93, Test, and Audrex go unnominated. Tier. Unselected. Let's look at Audrex again for a third time here now. 25%. So it really is about 1% a lap. And with that being said, there actually may not be a a pit stop needed. I mean, why would there? A percent a lap would only take us to 46% or so. Let's see if the same could be said for the rest of the drivers. Let's go to LS Subaru here, our front runner, already up to 38%. So Subaru facing a much different situation here. And as we get deeper into the race, maybe dealing with a lot less grip. That is actually the storyline has definitely piqued some intrigue here in me, because that Subaru situation, if we go to Patches Riley sitting at about the same spot as Audrex, only 25 or at least approaching 25% there on that front right tire. And then we go back to Audrex, 27, 28% now. We skip back to Kuda. Kuda sharing a very similar situation as LS Subaru, now approaching 40% on the front right tire. That's not looking too good. Craterum in fifth position. The worst of the bunch right now. Closing in on 60% tire wear. Virus thoughts. Not too bad. Very similar to that of LS Subaru right now. In sixth position, 35%. And last driver we'll check on here in terms of tire wear. Test at 45. Not the worst. That record currently belongs to Craterum, but Test in a bad way too. With about 17 laps remaining. Let's go to LS Subaru here, our race leader. And now has shed the tackle of Audrex, and now just has Patches Riley there in the rear view mirror. Dude, do limousines even have rear view mirrors on the window, in the front windscreen to look back? Because then all you see is just the back of the limo. Well, I do see one modeled here in game. It's there. Into turn number 3. As the camera looks down, you got that Lightspeed Esports design, which LS Subaru finally gave a nod to his designers. This one put together, well, I think he might have changed it. I think this is a different one. At least in week number 1, his vehicle was designed by Slow Motion Fire. But I think he's changed it now here in week 2. Maybe. Coming around for the end of lap 32. Of the 46 laps, we will be heading out to Silverstone National Circuit in the dark just after this race concludes. And that's what will take us into week number 3, a week from tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Same bat time, same bat channel. I got to admit, these Cadillac XTSs not half bad to watch going around an oval. I continue to be impressed by the drivers that no matter what vehicle is thrown their way, they find a way to make it a competitive vehicle and not just a laughing stock type moment. Like, season 46 could have seriously been just kind of a throwaway season where it's like, yeah, well, you know, we did it because. But, the converse, the au contraire. This is not half bad. It's very good. If only we could get Odd Drex and Kuda93, who are running 3rd and 4th respectively, to catch back up with our lead driver, LS Subaru. That's going to be a lot harder for Kratrum to do, who's back in 6th position with all of that tire degradation. There is clearly a vehicle setup that will help save your tires. And at this point, with closing in on 10 laps remaining, there really is going to be no desire to go into pit lane. You're just going to have to deal with what you got. And for LS Subaru, if the disadvantage or the delta between Subaru's tire situation and Patches Riley is still the 10%, that 10% can mean all the difference. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Patches Riley has here. 32% up front. Now, granted, I say this, and our drivers have reminded us that it's not until about 70% here in Forza Motorsport 7 where they really start to feel the loss of grip. So, I suppose, as we take a look at LS Subaru with 51%, that the effects may be minimal at this point. It's just a matter of what will those effects be 9 laps from now. Because this is exactly the kind of track where LS Subaru's exceptional driving cannot overperform vehicle or tire condition, just because you're basically on the throttle the entire time. Patches Riley, if Patches Riley's tire situation is much better off, all he has to do is try to not even outdo, but just kind of hold off and wait for LS Subaru to start showing signs of the tire's fatigue. And now here, perhaps Patches Riley going to take that opportunity to at least have a try as they come out of turn number 2. And once again, side by side, down the backstretch they come. LS Subaru on the outside, Patches Riley on the low line. Here they go, lining it up for turn number 3. What's going to happen here? And LS Subaru takes the opportunity there in the stretched out limo to go ahead and block off that low line. And so Patches Riley now across the line for the start of lap number 40 has just 7 laps remaining here to try to make the pass happen. We're going to stick it right here. The camera ain't going nowhere unless something drastically happens and then there's only one car out in front. It is Patches Riley in second. Audrex has moved up to third around Kuda83, and actually that pass happened a while back. Byron Stotts is up to fifth. Kratrum in sixth, and Test in seventh. Kratrum really suffering here in season 46 in the limo. Boontain, quite a while back, said limo ovals are just magic. This is not bad. I would love to see a full 23-car lobby of limos. We got to make that happen somehow. 23-car lobby of just limousines. Ringing around the rosy. Look at that. We saw that up-close camera view on the front bumper of LS Subaru. Quickly Patches Riley's front end of the XTS coming into view. And so Patches looking on the outside as LS Subaru hugs the inside line. LS Subaru now sitting at 56% on that front right tire. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Subaru's even going to feel this one. We'll see, as Patches Riley really nowhere to go on that lap. Couldn't even give it a shot. And Patches might be, this might be a moment where you just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to commit myself to the last 3 laps, the last 2 laps. Maybe if you're really daring, I'm just going to have a go at it on that final lap. And so you just set yourself up mentally and try to set the vehicle up as best, posture-wise. Like you're hitting all your corners, the car is nice and stable, and you're just going to go at it for that last lap, last 2, last 3, whatever it may be. And if that is the case, well, then that starts now. Lap 44 of 46 begins. So 3 laps, make that 2 3/4 now at this point as they come out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Still there is Patches. Just noticed the tribute to you, Dustin, on the LS. Oh, yeah, they're all over. Yeah, they've got the X-Venture logos all throughout the pack. And that's credit to Slow Motion Fire, too, had put that vinyl together for the drivers to slap on there. Yeah, I like it. All right, here we go. Across the line, the white flag drops here on this 46-lap race out at Homestead. Our pole sitter, LS Subaru, holds on to the lead, scrapes the wall a little bit. That's going to allow Patches Riley to have a little bit of a run on him. And as a result, LS Subaru has to go into defensive mode. Makes a blocking maneuver, and now out of turn number 2, just a back straightaway and a couple of corners remaining here in this week number 2. Race number 3 of the season. Season 46, the limos. Patches Riley's going to look to the outside as Subaru blocks the low line. That's exactly where Subaru needs to be to have a leg up. Here comes Patches Riley to the inside and across the line. Subaru is going to edge out Patches by just, a headlamp. Oh, so close. We'll get that on the X-Venture rewind here, but by my eye, my discerning eye, it looks like LS Subaru grabs the victory, followed by Patches Riley, Drex, Cuda, Virus. Oh, we'll have to see if there's... That's my unofficial ruling. We'll have to see if there is certainly a more official ruling to that. Audrex in third. I got to take note of everybody now because there's so few drivers that I know they'll just get going real quick. So before we hit our intermission here, I'm just going to write down all the names. And then when we come back, I'm going to go ahead and cliffhanger this. We'll take a look at that instant replay and see if we have a difference of opinion. I'm going to leave that predictor as it is right now until we come back. You're watching season 46, week number 2 of the Forza Spec Racing Series here on X-Venture live on Twitch TV. I'm Dustin Moore. A quick little intermission for those of you who are just followers, and I don't say just followers to be demeaning, but if you are a follower of the channel, you will see some ads here. That does support the channel in the fact that our any viewers that come in a little bit later on in the broadcast, they don't have to deal with the pre-rolls. And for those of you who are subscribers, you have to listen to some tunes, and feel free to spam the emotes there in the chat so that way they can bounce around on the screen just as DWM Frog has done. Again, you're watching the Forza Spec Racing Series here on Twitch TV. I'll be right back. Welcome back to X Venture here live on Twitch TV. Oh my gosh, Frozen Toes! What a perfect time for the air raid siren there, right toward the end of the intermission. Thank you, Frozen Toes, and all the Frozen Toes-ites. Is that what it is? Frozen Toes-ites? Hold on, let me go ahead and make sure that you guys aren't just still watching the intermission screen. Welcome, Frozen Toe-ites, to the X Venture channel here on Twitch TV. We are in the middle, legitimately in the middle of Season 46, Week number 2 action in the Cadillac XTS Limousine, of all things. And while today's participation is a little bit on the low end, some of the drivers have had to be out of the action here tonight. We've got some phenomenal racing, so if you got a chance to stick around, by all means, sit back, relax, enjoy the racing here on a Tuesday night. And if you do enjoy the content, then please click that follow button. Be greatly appreciated. All right, let's go take a look. Yeah, darn ad. I know you're right in the middle of the advert coming back over here after race number 1 of the evening. But you made it happen, so greatly appreciate that. I knew I heard an air raid siren when it wasn't supposed to be there in the song. So I was like, okay, yeah, something's happening here. Let's go take a look at that instant replay here real quick. I know LS Subaru is here in the driver's spotlight, but we do have the replay feature here that we will go back to see just how close that finish was between our current season leader in terms of championship points, LS Subaru, and Patches Riley. And yes, you will see kind of Forza Motorsport 7 doing its thing over there on the right-hand side. But here they come out of turn number 3, then turn number 4, of course, toward the start-finish line here at Homestead. And just when you think LS Subaru's got this by about a half a car length, here comes Patches Riley on the inside. But across the line, it is certainly going to be LS Subaru with the victory. So congratulations there to Subaru. And let's go ahead and pull in the driver who is our back-to-back-to-back-to-back champion here in FM4 and now has 3 straight wins in Season 46. That was pretty close there, Subaru, yeah?
Yeah, that was unreal. That was that was an unreal race. I saw I dipped my wheel on the infield on the last corner on the last lap, and I thought I was gonna lose a position. So once we were dragging to the line, I just started screaming in the Discord call, hoping that my screaming would just give me just that little bit extra power.
Yes, it's like racing stripes or flames as a vinyl decal on a car. It's true that in virtual racing or in esports, if you scream, your car will move faster.
Yes, I'm hoping that's the case.
I don't think I've heard you so jovial here in an interview. I mean, we've talked quite a bit here over the last 4 seasons with all your success. So that must have really been intense for you to get as excited as you are at this moment. Tell us a little bit about the delta here between you, Patches Riley, and I don't know if maybe you can discern what it was, but you were ticking up pretty high there in terms of tire degradation, that front right wheel, whereas Patches was maybe about 10-15% less than you.
Yeah, I think that's just the advantage that wheel users have. They're able to be a lot more smoother with the steering inputs, and because of that, and that's even more important on an oval circuit where being smooth with your steering is more important than anything, really.
And of course, we've had this discussion with drivers, I think maybe even yourself included, that really, even at that percentage that you got up to there at the end of that race after 46 laps, did you really even feel a little bit of the loss of traction? Was it minimal? What was the feeling like in the car?
I was definitely starting to feel that there was a bit more understeer on the car coming into the later stages of the race, which is expected when it comes to tire wear. But otherwise, it was not too big of a difference. But it was enough to keep the racing close between Patches and I.
Considering the tire degradation and how you were starting to feel it, how many more laps do you give Patches there before you're like, oh man, I would really be in trouble?
I think I was in trouble pretty much the entire race. I don't think I got a single break from all 46 of those laps.
Are you a little bit thankful for the fact that shorter turnout or smaller turnout here tonight, fewer cars out there on the track? Obviously, if there was more traffic, that could have been more hectic than it needed to be. You were able to run and clean air the entire time. You didn't hit a back marker at all.
I think with more people, it would have been even more fun. This was like the most fun racing I've had in a long time, and I think with more people, it would have been even better.
See, now that's the answer I was actually wanting to hear. I told the viewers in the midst of that race that I would really love to see a full 23 car lobby. I would make the 24th spot up, so maxing out the lobby and putting everybody out there in limousines, that would have been really cool. I just thought for your sake, you appreciated the fact that it was smooth running the entire time, at least in terms of not dealing with traffic, but I guess I'm wrong. How do you, so now you got to change it up. A bunch of left-hand steering there on the joystick. We go out to Silverstone, the national circuit, small, short track, no elevation change whatsoever versus that of Maple Valley. Didn't really even have that much either. Any adjustment to the tune here, driving style? What do you got to do to, I don't know, I ask you to be successful at Silverstone? I think the answer is probably pretty obvious.
All I did to the tune was just change the camber on the front wheels, and that's about it.
Gotcha.
I just removed, I reduced the camber angle on the front, and that's about it.
Got it. All right, Subaru. Well, we've got Patches in the queue as well, so I'll go ahead and go over to Patches. But great job there at Homestead. Very exciting finish, and good luck to you here qualifying at Silverstone.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. There is our P1 finisher out at Homestead, and now we introduce P2 into the mix here on the driver's spotlight. Patches, Riley, that was one of the closer races that we've ever seen, but it does in fact look like Subaru edged you out there at the end.
That was a ton of fun. That was I heard him saying that this has been probably the most fun racing he's ever had playing Forza, and I definitely agree. That was a good time.
Was there, at what point in that race, and maybe there were multiple, but was there a time where you thought, hey, you know, I've got him, you know, this final lap, maybe these last two laps, perhaps, I mean, I don't think you knew what Subaru's tire situation was, but could you tell that he was maybe suffering from a little bit of traction loss, that maybe he just wasn't on point through a particular corner?
I have your stream running like in the background so I can hear it. So I could hear you saying that he had like 15% more tire wear than I was. And I don't, maybe it's my overconfidence, but I was thinking, man, if I could get past him, I think I could walk away with him, me being on the wheel. But I mean, who knows? Subaru's insanely fast, so it might not have happened, but I definitely felt like I could have gone a little bit faster in front of him.
A P2 finish is a terrific finish here in the Forza Spec Racing Series, regardless of how many drivers there were out there on the track. Cratrium suffering once again here in week number 2 in the XTS limo. But it's got to be a little bit bittersweet that you were that close from taking down the driver who has 4 straight championships, even if it was just for one single race.
I mean, I'm definitely happy with P2 since I'm normally, you know, way far behind that. But I was shaking after we went across the line because I was so I was just like hyped up on literally everything that was happening. That was very close.
I don't know if you could confirm for me. It looked like heading into that final lap 46 there that LS Subaru had tapped the outside wall on the front straightaway. And I thought for sure that would set you up there going in on the low line on turn number 1 where you've attempted a pass before. Was there anything that you would change about that last lap that you're like, man, if I just done that a little bit differently, this outcome could have been a whole lot different?
I don't think so, because
Yeah.
I think I hit the wall like twice during the race, and it didn't slow. I saw someone else hit the wall in front of me. I don't know if it was Audrex or Subaru, but it just a little tap didn't really slow anyone down too much. So, but I knew that it would throw them off a little bit. So I was like, I gotta go for it now.
That you did, and you made a good case for it. I didn't even think it was going to be that close coming out of turn 3 and 4. It looked like you were quite a bit behind and that you would be about a half a car length back, but you overcame that and pushed it all the way up to the line. So very commendable, and definitely will be a memorable finish here in week number 46. And now you head out to Silverstone. 2 P2 finishes here tonight. Can you do it at Silverstone?
I don't know. The wheel kind of hinders me on the road courses.
Got it.
But I mean, anything could happen. We'll see. I'm just hoping I'll have to pray to the Forza gods that I don't lose any of my headlights, because it's extremely dark around this track at night.
Well, if the current scene holds true, it looks like we may have the sunset environment back there. So even if you lose some lights, maybe you'll still have a bit of the natural light to work with.
That'll work just fine then. Maybe I can lose a couple of headlights.
Lose all the lights then. Very
yeah.
Good. All right, Patches. Well, great job there at Homestead, and best of luck to you qualifying here at Silverstone.
Thank you. Good to meet you.
Thank you. Yeah, likewise. Absolutely. It's always great to have a familiar name but a new voice joining me in the driver's spotlight so that we could chat it up, particularly here on a night that's a little bit quieter. This isn't typical. We usually have a lot more participation out on the track, a bit more engagement here in the chat, the pit lane, as I like to call it. But you know what? We don't care. We're doing it. We're doing it live here on a Tuesday night. The Forza Spec Racing Series Season 46, and it is Silverstone. We'll have the 3 laps of qualifying, and then we'll finish that. We won't finish. I guess we will finish out the week, but we won't finish qualifying with 29 laps. That doesn't make any sense. We will finish up week number 2, 29 laps around the national circuit here at Silverstone. Let's go ahead and head out to the racetrack where Krachim has things underway, locked and loaded on the grid. Drex will be the first one off the start-finish line into turn number 1. Kopse. And as I had called out, we've got a sunset skybox here. And I think this will hold true for the race as well. I don't think it'll change unless Krachim does something to the settings that forces the game to reset the lobby and reset the environment. We should stick with the sunset look here, even into the race. And because there is no time of day progression in race, it'll be a perpetual sunset. The Earth will have stopped moving. Scary, I know, but it's okay. That means we get to race under the light. All right, here we go. The end of the standing start lap. Drex going to come across the line with, wait for it. I guess if I put the right, there we go. I put the right thing. I don't even get to see Drex's time. Patches Riley there. Then Krachim with a 109.468. Krachim, at least for now, with the quickest time. And then LS Subaru says, thanks for holding that. Appreciate it. 108.227 there. LS Subaru currently with pole after the standing start lap. Lap number 2 underway as we join Krachim. Oh, Virus Thought's going to go head first into the tire barrier. Well, I guess if you're going to do that, do it in qualifying. Krachim here with the second quickest time. Out of Maggots down the Wellington Straight and into Brooklands here. That's going to be turns 3, 4, 5. Then Luffield for 6 and possibly 7. Just really depends on how they number these things out here. You never know. Some of these track developers, they come up with all kinds of weird corners that you don't really see. They number them and you're like, oh, sure. Yeah, I guess that's a turn. I guess it's turn number 9. Here comes Krachim now with a 106.174. And then LS Subaru says, thanks again, 105.511. We'll get another predictor up here for the race. I know I wasn't able to get one in there after we watched the replay talked with drivers in the driver's spotlight. I didn't throw up a predictor. We'll get another one going here, I promise you. I promise. Don't worry. Be happy. Did we lose a driver, by the way? I feel like, no, we still have all 7 that were out there for the Homestead race, so that's good. That is good. And since Frozen Toes did this during the intermission, I'll go ahead and just run back that alert. Don't worry. Don't go to your storm shelter. It's okay. It's just an air raid siren on the stream. Unless, of course, there is an actual storm warning in your area. Then please heed all official warnings. Looks like LS Subaru, yeah, with the top time of 105. Thank you again, Frozen Toes 24. If you're not yet following Frozen Toes' channel, be sure to do that. She's a heck of a lot more entertaining than I am because Frozen Toes actually knows how to race. And while she does commentate, you'll also catch Frozen Toes racing in iRacing, NASCAR Heat. I've even seen a few other games in there like Overcooked. Non-racing oriented content, which is awesome. Audrex with a 106.906. Compared to Patches Riley with a 106.559, a 105.872 there for Cratrium. That's going to be good enough for P2 because LS Subaru with a pole sitting 105.511, a 107.334 there for Test. Just Test, nothing but Test. Virus Dots with a 111.302 and a 107 Dirty. Where are the dirties in the chat? I give you guys the dirty emote. We need to see a little dirty from time to time. A dirty 107.323, and although that is the, well, I guess it's not the slowest lap of the group. That belongs to Test. The quickest dirty lap will always be slower than the slowest clean lap. So to the back of the pack goes Kuda93. Going to have to try to make up a few spots on that one. Again, welcome to the channel. Dustin Moore here. It is a little bit quieter of a Tuesday, I will admit. Fewer drivers out on the track. A little quieter in the pit lane as well. But I assure you, when we get some of our drivers back here for week number 3, 4, and on into the championship for week number 5, or I say the championship, the finale in week number 5, 3 weeks from tonight, we'll pick things back up. And then once the new Forza Motorsport title releases, I fully expect an onslaught of drivers here in FM4. They're going to have to be turning folks away. Well, they won't be turning them away. They'll just tell them that they're on the wait list. But I think I'm purely speculating here, but I think we will learn about the next Forza Motorsport title with perhaps a release date come early June when the Xbox showcase takes place. And so certainly as that news becomes available, you'll find out here too. I'll be sharing that back out live here on the channel. So that way, even if you're not in the know and you don't keep up to date on that stuff, but you are interested in when we will finally have a new Forza Motorsport title, then rest assured we'll have that information right here for you on Xventure. All right. Drivers have finished with qualifying. Cratrium, who's doing great work here this evening, stepping in to make sure that everything runs, despite the fact that the 3 organizers, the 3 folks who are typically here to make sure this thing goes on without a hitch, they had something happen in their real-world lives that they've got to attend to. So Cratrium is the veteran of the Forza Spec Racing Series, stepping in to make sure that the races are on schedule, that they are configured correctly. Well done to Cratrium. Our tip of the hat, if I had one. Actually, I do, but it's way over there. It's way over there. I'm not gonna fetch it. I'm not gonna fetch it. We will be getting ready to go here as all the drivers have readied up in the lobby. Just waiting for Cratrium to make the final adjustments here to the grid ordering. And then 29 laps around Silverstone here in the dark, kinda, sorta, but not really. Need to get Dustin a FM4 hat. Yeah, I've contemplating putting my PO box. I do have a PO box that I use for other purposes, business, a side gig. I've contemplated putting that up, so if you guys wanted to send me a tire to put under the coat here, that I could wear it, but then I'm a little concerned about what we might get. So I've kind of refrained from it. All right, here we go. Out to the track. Oh my gosh, I didn't put a predictor up. Oh, geez. Hold on. Well, hold on. Everybody just wait a second. We're riding on board with LS Subaru right now. The camera angle will change here once the race gets underway. Kick the tires, light the fires. LS Subaru gets things started here. Race number 4 of season 46. The Cadillac XTS out at Silverstone National. Under the lights, kind of, sort of. They don't really have a lot of lights out here. I don't know why that's the case. Somebody dial up Silverstone management and say, where are your lights? Then they could do nighttime Formula 1 races out here. No lights. Ludicrous. Out of Maggots they go, down the Wellington Straight, up toward Brooklands. Again, it is LS Subaru, who is the race leader. Cratrium in second. Finally having a good run here. Poor Cratrium just on the struggle bus here in season 46. Patches Riley, who finished P2 out at Homestead, in third. Audrex is fourth. Test is in fifth. Kuda 93, Virus Dots make up sixth and seventh. All right, let me try to do this. You guys are going to have to commentate your own race. Just talk to yourself about what you see here on the screen while I type this out. Who will win at Silverstone? And let me see. Let me get everybody in here. We got LS Subaru. We're doing it. We're getting everybody in here. Cratrium. Yes. Audrex. And then there's Virus Dots. Yep. Patches Riley. Yep. Sure enough. Who am I missing here? Why am I missing? Test. Of course, I missed Test. That's purposeful. Missing that one on purpose. I'm kidding with you, Test. And then Kuda 93, of course. All right, there you go. 20 minutes. Who will win at Silverstone? Cast your vote using your channel points, which are worth absolutely nothing. So don't worry. We're not encouraging gambling here. We're having fun with an exchangeless currency that is devoid of any value of any kind on any planet, in any solar system, in any universe. I should have said any galaxy and then any universe. I know. Let's drop back here to Patches Riley in third position. Yeah, I did think about it there, Foontang. I thought about, I could put my P.O. box, and then I could have people send me things that they want me to wear on the stream just to build up a little bit more viewer engagement. I've second guessed that idea. And I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get desperate enough to move forward with it. Not that anybody will send me anything anyway. Although I think Fear the Fun would. I think Fear the Fun would send me something just to look goofy. Of course, there would be some limitations. I would have to put some guardrails in place here so I don't become an internet meme. Not even a meme, just something for people to poke fun at. All right, here we are, lap number 4 of 29. LS Subaru with the, you're not mistaken, you're not wrong. You don't have to check your eyesight. It is the flag of Australia next to Subaru's gamer tag. Racing in the future already has an advantage. It's no wonder that that Subaru is the four-time champion because he already knows how to run the race to beat everybody else. Living a day ahead of us. Marty McFly behind the wheel there. I'm just going to start calling... Subaru from this point forward shall just be known as Marty McFly. Or Doc Brown. Which one? Which one should it be? Marty McFly or Doc Brown? Because I'm going to say that the Dateline, living on the opposite side of the Dateline, has given Subaru an unfair advantage. Virus Dots is who we saw go head first into the tire wall during qualifying. Right now is off the track, and yeah, severe damage there. The Virus Dots' vehicle, 100%. For multiple components, and fortunately for Virus, closing in on pit lane entry. Got to be looking out in the rearview mirror here for the oncoming traffic as they get through Luffield. Up to Woodcote. And across the line. DWM Frog is voting for Doc Brown. Okay. Well, guess what? You're the only vote, so I guess that one wins out. Speaking of vote, again, use your channel points. It looks like LS Subaru right now receiving fewer votes than Cratrium in terms of who's going to win the race here at Silverstone. Cratrium with 56, Subaru with 44. You still got some time here. If we get too close to the end of the race, I'm going to end it. Let's just say I'll end it 5 laps prior to the end. I have this horrible tendency to let these predictors run too long. I've got to be a better judge of time. A better gauge of the clock here. Is Cratrium in second. Patches Riley. Let's go to Patches Riley here. Again, finished in P2 out at Homestead and only finished P2 by just a headlamp. That was the difference between Patches and Subaru. But now that we're back out onto a course with right and left-handers, a course where basically mashing the accelerator is not a strategy. Well, now we see that Patches Riley about, 3 seconds off the pace here. 3 seconds off the pace of our leader. Let's go to Audrex in 4th position. By the way, I don't know why I haven't done this yet. Clearly, there is a lot of availability on the grid here in Season 46. I encourage you to partake. If you're watching the racing right now here in the Cadillac XTS Limo of all things, and you're thinking, well, gosh, Dustin, this looks like a lot of fun. I should be out there instead of listening to you yap your gums. Well, then head on over to reddit.com/r/FM4. The link is in the chat there, provided by Nightbot. Then I'll be calling your name as you get around the track here. And good preparation. Good opportunity for you to do your homework in terms of how things are run here in FM4, and so that when Season 47 comes up here in the month of June, late part of June, then you'll be ready to go. When the points are wiped clean, everybody has a chance at the championship. Right. Cratrium now out of the final corner, across the line in second, and continues to lose distance here, up to 412 feet of separation from the front of Cratrium's XTS to the back of LS Subarus. I'll just do all the commands. I don't have that many. If you're curious about what's coming up here on Xventure, know that we'll be visiting that schedule here at the end of tonight's broadcast, but also it is available there at twitch.tv/Xventure/schedule, or as those across the pond know it as schedule. And that way you can keep up to date with what's going on here on the channel. I actually think I have to go update it here because there might be a lot of TBDs in there right now. Anyway, that's where you go for the latest and greatest. You can also catch me on Twitter, where I post updates about the broadcast, particularly with the Forza Spec Racing Series. What's going on here? There at twitter.com/xventure. All right, let's go back to 6th position here with Kuda, who's looking at the back of Test. Got to be very careful with how I phrase this. Looking at the back of Test as they come through turn number 1, or out of turn number 1 there, Kopse. Up to Maggots, which... Maggots. I mean, it's probably named after a racing driver, right? I'm sorry, I don't have my compendium of racing drivers in front of me, but I always feel weird calling out the name of that corner. I mean, I know I cannot say it, but then I wouldn't be doing my broadcasting duties, right? To call the corners by their real name here. As Kuda is going to go ahead and give a tap there to Test. Kuda, who finished in 4th out at Homestead. Right now, a couple of spots back from that in 6th. Let's go to Audrex in 4th. As Patches Riley trying to hold on to P3. Underneath the Silverstone Bridge. Boontang says, Silverstone is my local track. Lol. Maggots and Beckett's are named after local buildings. Oh, okay. Not after a race car driver. Well, whew. We saved somebody the agony of having the last name Maggots. Although there's probably somebody who has an equally, I don't know, can we say ridiculous last name? Like if you were just born in the last century and your last name's Maggots, you might just want to go ahead and change that. You might want to just be proactive about that. Here goes Patches Riley, the back end of the XTS. Slides out, that puts him off into the grass, and there goes Audrex making the pass. For P3, the beep-boo. You have to say it like that. You got to say beep-boo. Up to P3 goes Audrex. That's where Audrex finished out at Homestead. Wait a minute. Patches Riley is up to P3. What happened? What am I missing? Was there some sort of lag there that I didn't see? What? Oh, that was virus dots. I don't know. Jeez. Again, I've only been doing this for nearly 18 seasons. You'd think I'd learn how to call out the gamer tags above the cars. Figured I'd be able to do that appropriately by now. Patches Riley is still in 3rd for those of you listening on the radio. In the news, Forza Spec Racing Series, Patches Riley is in 3rd with Audrex back in 4th position. They go through Luffield as they approach the final right-hander of Woodcote toward the start-finish line under what is a beautiful sky out here at Silverstone. The sun is setting. It is forever setting. 29 laps of forever setting sunset. That's my horrible, 50s, 40s, 30s radio voice. I can be obnoxious at some points. I realize this. Let's go to Kuda 93, back in 5th position. By the way, our channel predictor here, you've got 7 minutes remaining. So it looks like we'll be good on the predictor to close out just in time. Cash your channel points. Don't worry. No monetary value whatsoever. LS Subaru right now holds 44% of the vote, saying that Subaru will finish the race out in front, whereas 56% of the vote says that Cratrian is going to sneak up and take the win. Let's go back to Audrex here, who is pressuring Patches Riley coming out of Luffield for 3rd. Even have those little, I'm guessing they're maybe LED strips there that run vertically along the pillars there at the midsection of the car. Nice little touch. I think the Rolls-Royce, what is it? The Rolls-Royce Phantom? Whatever vehicle it is we have here in Forza Motorsport 7 for the Rolls-Royce. We probably have multiple, but whatever one that it is that has the stars in the headliner. Folks over there at Turn 10 paying attention to those details and adding them onto their respective cars. I really am pretty hyped about Forza Motorsport, the next game. Ask me 2 years ago when we would have expected another Forza Motorsport title with that every 2-year cycle that we had for the first 7 titles. I would have been like, yeah, you know what? There probably could be a pretty good improvement, but I wouldn't be very optimistic because that 2-year development cycle just really doesn't afford a lot of opportunity to get some data, some analytics, some just gamer feedback even then. There's been a lot of feedback from the community provided to inform the next Forza Motorsport title, both by pros, those who raced in the Forza Racing Championship, RIP, and then some of us schmoes in the community that, known well enough to have Turn 10 reach out and say, hey, what are your thoughts on this, that, and the other? So hopefully, I know, I'm going full copium here, as they say on Twitch. Hopefully, our next Forza Motorsport title is going to be, I don't know, several rungs higher in terms of race quality. I mean, not that it's bad here, but, obviously there's always opportunity to improve as hardware improves, as developers get more familiar with translating real-world physics into gaming physics. And even then, they're probably not trying for the ultra realism that you may expect out of iRacing and all that, but maybe making some adjustments here and there. And then, of course, on the broadcasting side, I'm hopeful that there's better presentation value that I can bring across to you all here. Whatever it may be, you can expect that once the Forza Spec Racing Series has transitioned into the next Forza title, you'll be able to see that live here on Xventure. Virus Dot says in the chat, I've become the blinding obstacle of the course now. Virus Dots, yes, we've seen Virus have a lot of issues out here at Silverstone. Not the case at Homestead. I mean, everybody was having a good run at Silverstone, and now Virus Stotts is just parked in the corner of Kopse. And so the most exciting battle that we have on the track at this moment of the 6 drivers that are at racing pace is, wouldn't you know, a battle for 3rd. Patches Riley and Audrex in 4th. Audrex finishing. Oh, and well, that's probably Virus Stotts. That's probably Virus Stotts' vehicle getting virtually ejected from the lobby. And with that, Audrex making the pass. No, that's LS Subaru. LS Subaru has DNF'd from this race, either voluntarily or just by a connection issue, but for the first time in a long time. Yes, we've had drivers not named LS Subaru win a race over the course of the last 4 seasons, but never in this manner. LS Subaru telling us there in the chat that his game has crashed. And so for at least one race here in season 46, LS Subaru will not be the leader nor the winner. And that means I've got to put the golden broom back in the closet. Rip Subaru, rip golden broom. Another season goes by, and as dominating as LS Subaru has been for 4 straight seasons, winning the championships of each, has not been able to tie together a 9-race victory. And with that, somebody who held off, wisely held off, voting with their channel points, has thrown down. They're all in on Cratrium. Well, I don't know if they're all in, but man, Cratrium's polling, the vote for Cratrium has gone up to 89%. LS Subaru down to 11%. Hey, that's how these things work out, because I allow them to run. And I'm sorry. I know they won't hear this. I know the majority of viewers won't hear this. I am so sorry. I ran ads. For those of you who are subscribers, congratulations. You've survived. I've thrown the ad boss at the non-subs, and sadly they are now dealing with... Fortunately, I just ran the 60-second ad option and not the 3 minutes. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm just not on top of the game tonight. I don't know what it is. I promise you, we never, ever, ever, with the exception of that mistake right there, we never run ads in the middle of the race action. I inadvertently clicked the wrong button when I was looking at the predictor. I refreshed the predictor, or at least I was trying to, and I clicked the 60-second ad button. Fortunately, I pressed that and not the 320-minute add button or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, no golden broom for you there, Subaru. Yeah, I mentioned that. No golden broom for you, for me, for anybody. Nobody gets to enjoy the sight of the golden broom here. To the closet, to the garage it goes. Audrex and Patches Riley, that's where we keep the camera here. Lap number 23 of 29. Out of Copse up to Maggots here for the 23rd time. And it is Cratrium, who has just had a headache of a season through the first 3 races. Not finishing within the top 3 for any one of them. Now, the chance here, now that Subaru has, the game crashed. Didn't even just disconnect. The game just straight up crashed for LS Subaru. Cratrium is currently in position for a P1 finish. I thought for sure it was going to be Byron Stotts, who was just exiting the lobby. But you can see that gray dot, that static gray dot there in turn number 1. That's Virus, just watching the race from the sidelines. LS Subaru says, I was able to put 27,400 channel points on Cratrium winning with 30 seconds left. Yes, I know. So, well, I didn't know it was you. I know somebody did it, but there you go. LS Subaru, let's call it like it is. LS Subaru threw the race. LS Subaru has found a way to monetize channel points and purposefully threw the race. We've got to get a panel, an investigation going. This shall not stand. LS Subaru, you've been warned. Stonks. Such stonks. All right, here we go. Cratrium has crossed the line for the beginning of lap 25. 5 laps remaining here of 29. Not as eventful this race. But hey, that's how racing goes sometimes, right? I mean, our Homestead event was pretty spectacular. I'll agree with LS Subaru. If we would have had more cars on the track, it would probably have been just... probably would have been entering chaos territory, but it would have been pretty darn exciting. There goes Patches Riley with a move on test. That was well done. Well strategized by Patches Riley heading into Brooklands. Even though that was on the lap traffic of test. Let's go take a look at it. Let's make more use here of the Xventure Rewind. Although it's a little dark. A little difficult to see. Here comes, in the Uber Eats mobile, Patches Riley. A little switchback. Was on the outside entering Brooklands. And then dropped it low on test for the pass. By the way, LS Subaru, we've decided, and I haven't been upholding my end of the bargain, but we've decided you'll be here on out referred to as Doc Brown, because of course you are living in the future and have the advantage of knowing how everybody else is going to race. So if you hear me call out Doc Brown, it's you. Subaru Doc Brown says, I had a feeling that my game would crash because I was only able to do 2.5 laps of testing last week for my game to... Oh, wow. On Silverstone. Is it something to do with Silverstone? Interesting. I mean, if you got it on PC, maybe... I can't remember if there's a way on the Microsoft Store to validate your files, but... Man, that's weird. Now everybody's just going to schedule Silverstone. We're going to have 9 races of Silverstone next season. That's how they deal with Doc Brown there, is they come out to the track where his game inevitably crashes. Every time. Lap 28 now. Next time by, the marshal will drop the white flag, though I don't think we have a I don't know. iRacing, they have Barney. Oh, it does look like there's an official up there in the tower, but they don't do anything. Absolutely useless, those officials in the tower here in Forza Motorsport 7. Yeah, they got Barney and iRacing. I don't know if they have a name for the official in Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo's had a flag-wielding marshal, haven't they? I think they have. Don't think there's a name for them. This probably also means that I have no choice but to use this as my drop weeks as Super... Well, I mean... Maybe. All right, there is that white flag for Craytrim, who, again, has just been having such a difficult and disappointing season here. I know we're only 4 races in, but Craytrim going to get his first top 3 finish here in week number 2, race number 4 of the season. And so to celebrate this ceremonious turn of events here for Craytrim, we'll go ahead and move the camera in that direction of the track. Yeah, you can test it out, Subaru. How daring you want to be? Drop another race. Put that 5 championship opportunity at risk. And there goes Craytrim with the victory here at Silverstone National. Going to be followed by Odd Drex and Patches Riley, who, when we talked to Patches prior to the race, said, hey, I'd just like to finish in the top 5. Well, there you go. Patches Riley picking up P3 after a P2 finish at Homestead. P4 will go to Cuda93. P5 belongs to Test. Virus Thoughts, despite doing pretty much nothing for the majority of the race, will finish in 6th. And that will give LS Subaru, otherwise known as Doc Brown, a DNF, which is good for 3 points. You get 3 points just for starting a race, even if you can't finish. Alrighty, folks. Well, let's see. I don't think I can run... Oh, I can run some ads. I'm going to go ahead and do that anyway. I know I inadvertently did the whole 60-second ad run earlier. That was completely inadvertent. I never do that. That was the first time I've ever done that during a race. I'm pretty sure. Nobody fact-checked me on that. But I feel confident in that statement. I will run some ads here. It does support the channel. For those of you who are not subscribers to the channel, you'll see some ads. Promise you won't miss anything. We'll come back after you've seen those 3 minutes, and we'll talk to some of our drivers here in the driver spotlight. We'll preview what's ahead in week number 3. I'll talk about what's to come here on the channel, although you can see it kind of scrolling through here with the images on the intermission screen. And then, yeah, like I said, when we come back, we'll talk to some of our drivers here in the driver spotlight. You're watching the conclusion, the season 46, week number 2. Xventure, Twitch TV, Justin Moore. I'll be right back. Welcome back to X-Venture Live on Twitch. We get to have fun here on Tuesday evenings. Yeah, we get to have fun, especially when you got like some like 80s karate flick music playing. Week number 2 has come to an end here of season 46 in the XTS Camaro. And again, it was good racing. I mean, exceptional racing out at Homestead for the first race of the evening. The second race here at Silverstone National, a little quieter, not as thrilling, but hey, we'll take this into week number 3 and see what's what, because Doc Brown, aka LS Subaru, who lives in the future, disconnected. Actually, the game just outright crashed on Subaru. That's going to make the point situation at least a little bit more interesting. Now, if this is Doc Brown, aka Subaru's drop week, if that's what this ends up being, then that means that Subaru still has a chance to pull out a 400-point championship season, or a 400-point season, which would result in the championship. So all is not lost for LS Subaru. The only thing that is lost is a golden broom opportunity. Still, 46 seasons in, and not a single driver has been able to win all 9 races of a single season of the Forza Spec Racing Series. Going to the driver's spotlight now. Virus thoughts. How was the view from the corner of Copse there at Silverstone?
Oh, it was pretty interesting. Got some food, and then on the driver's chat with everyone talking about energy drinks and a mechanic's terrible diet.
What is Silverstone in an evening on a Tuesday evening with the Forza Spec Racing Series out on the track? What is Silverstone serving up food-wise?
Instant oatmeal.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds very English, very British.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. You have no clue. What happened? What happened? It was just a rough go at the track. I mean, we saw him qualify. It looked like coming out of maggots, he went head first into the tire wall. Did those troubles continue on into the race? Clearly, they must have.
Yeah. I don't know. I can never catch a break at Silverstone. That's where I got my nickname. Thank you, Dustin.
You're welcome. Now you're going to be known as Virus Oatmeal or something like that. I don't know.
God.
No longer the caboose. You don't have to be the caboose anymore. You get to be Oatmeal.
Oh no, it's worse.
What happens?
I qualified on testing out CT's tune because I had no practice at all.
Team no practice
this week.
Got it.
Yeah. So qualified using CT's tune, and then tried out fears for the actual race at Silverstone, and it just did not go well for me.
Yeah.
Then I had technical difficulties down the back straight, and went head on pretty fast into the wall.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, controller disconnected.
There you go. That'll do it.
Yep.
Are you so I think I've asked, maybe it was you, I don't know, somebody brought this up within the last couple of seasons. They had the same, actually it was Subaru, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Are you a connect the cord type of gamer?
Yeah.
Or are you a cycle out, do a pit stop on the batteries?
I'm a connect the cord kind of guy because I can't be asked to change the batteries out anymore. I used to.
So I've actually proposed a new rule to the Forza Spec Racing Series where for at least one race in the season, you have to put bad batteries into your controller, and then it's up to you to decide how. And actually, no, you can't decide. You have to do a battery swap out. It's a unplanned pit stop battery change.
You see, I did that actually in the 360 Challenge Finale.
Oh.
Only because I could not find any good batteries.
You see, I am a battery swapper outer. Now, granted, I'm not playing a lot of multiplayer, so really it's just me against the AI when I'm having to do that. But whenever it does happen, and it happens every once in a while, not frequently, but when it does happen, I like the games that just keep running for you. And I say that facetiously because I actually really hate it when the games don't recognize that your controller has died and they just keep the game running.
Yep.
All right, so hey, how do
Definitely
you?
sucks.
How do you get things? Oh, what's that?
Definitely does suck.
Yeah. How do you get things turned around for week number 4? Or excuse me, week number 3. Gosh, I'm trying to really advance time here. I'm actually not with the XTS.
Yeah, you're really trying to get to Rio, aren't you?
Well, Rio will be exciting, but what will be equally exciting, and I say that also facetiously because I absolutely loathe this circuit. Bernese Alps, the festival track. Lime Rock I can live with. Lime Rock's not bad, but man, Bernese Alps, all the ups and downs of that track, that's going to be a barn burner. How do you turn things around that you one, that you don't have your controller die on you, but then also you're able to compete for the entirety of the race?
Well, I mean, lap 10, I was like, just decided, you know what? I'm parking up here. I'll watch the race when everyone passes by me. But I don't know. It's more going to be, can I get a good tune put together? Does somebody else's tune work better for me on there? I don't know. So I'll have to try that out. But Homestead tonight was pretty good for me.
Yeah.
Started off dead last and only fell behind at the beginning. I was behind by about 4 seconds with Test and CT from drafting off each other. Somehow managed to catch Test and then caught CT and then left CT behind me with about 2 seconds.
Yeah, that Homestead was definitely that was not how I was expecting things to pan out on that race. And then of course like the difference in tire wear from driver to driver was pretty dramatic. So that one ended up all kinds of funny, and even though that was the better race for you, that was an interesting finish.
Yeah, I kept trying my best to push up into 4th, but I wasn't catching enough speed through the corners, and CT was only falling farther and farther back from me. So there's no way I could use him and team up with him for my advantage to get up there. So,
well, I have high optimism and high regard for the drivers of FM4, but man, Bernese Alps, you might not be well. I'm not going to assume that you'll be a driver sitting on the sidelines for that particular race, even though that happened to be the case out here at Silverstone. But man, there might be several folks who are sitting on the side going, "Hey, I'm out. I'm done." Because the downhill of that track and everything, I don't know. That just could be a scary one. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting race, and I might be, or I could be wrong, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of crashes there if people don't pay attention for the slightest second.
Talking with Virus Thoughts here in the driver's spotlight, now known as Oatmeal after the Silverstone event. Are you partially to blame? Not that the car has been all that bad up to this point. Are you partially to blame for the XTS? Did you participate in the voting prior to season 46?
No. I just saw that the Cadillac XTS was here, and I actually saw it when I was in Ovation stream.
Yeah.
I was like, no way. This sounds like a meme. I'm so in.
It's not a meme.
It even got Ovation excited, but he just wasn't able to make it for registering them to the races just due to work.
Yeah.
So.
Well, gosh darn it.
He's definitely trying to get back.
I know. Real world distractions seem to be a big thing. And I'm guessing maybe several drivers have opted out of this season just because they didn't want to have anything to do with the limousine. But for those who have been participating here in season 46. A few of them, or several of them, almost half the number of drivers that we had in week number 1 missing from tonight's action. Again, due to real world stuff, so hopefully we'll be able to get those folks back out on the track. But I've had Nightbot drop there in the chat the link to reddit.com/r/FM4. So even if you want to participate here in the remaining, what would it be? 5 races here of season 46, the remaining 3 weeks, the next 3 Tuesdays, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, and feel free to head on over there and figure out what the car setup looks like. Get yourself registered. Just let Slow Motion Fire, Fear the Fun, Modern Weapon, or even Cratrum, who will help make things possible here tonight. Let them know that you'd like to race, and they'll be happy to include you in the grid. Virus Thoughts, great chatting with you here tonight. Hopefully better luck next week, and we'll see you on the track a week from tonight.
We'll see you then.
All righty. Virus Thoughts, now known as Oatmeal. I'm telling you, you get those nicknames when you put either a funny livery on your car or during the driver's spotlight, you got a funny answer for me. It turns into a nickname. Virus Oatmeal. It is. That's just how it goes. All right, let me go ahead and pay out these prediction points for those of you who said that Cratrium was going to win the race. Again, LS Subaru, otherwise known as Doc Brown, or Doc Brown, otherwise known as LS Subaru, throwing the race there just to win a bunch of channel points. Pitiful. I'm kidding. I know that wasn't the case. Yeah, naming you Oatmeal. Well, you brought it upon yourself. Thanks to those of you who tuned in this evening. Spax907 again with the follow early in the stream. Frozen Toes 24 with the raid. Much appreciated. And look forward to seeing you folks back here a week from tonight, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern, for week number 3, which I'm guessing we're going to get quite a few of our drivers back. So if you thought, gosh, I'd like to see more than 7 out there on the track, we'll get there. It'll come back, and then who knows? Maybe season 47, after the limo is done, we'll see the return of some names that have disappeared here, have been sitting this season out. And then we even have a few drivers who are registered here for season 46 that we have yet to see, to include Born as Ghost and Arzium Salty, otherwise formerly known as Salty Bonkos. So I believe we'll have more drivers after tonight. This is the fewest number that we'll have. I'm just gonna say it right now. Guaranteed the fewest number of drivers in all of season 46. And then as the teaser there for the schedule showed, and actually I can just go ahead and throw that back up real quick. It is the Bernese Alps Festival Circuit, 15 laps. It's going to be the scariest 15 laps. I'm not looking forward to that one as a commentator, just because I feel bad for the drivers. And then Lime Rock for 30 laps. Gosh, is the Bernese Alps Festival Circuit that long? Is that the longest track of that fictional circuit? It must be. 15 laps, half the number of Lime Rock, and Lime Rock's not that short of a circuit, especially the full. So there you go. That's what you have to look forward to a week from tonight. I will be streaming before that, though, so don't get it twisted. Got more content coming to you here on Xventure over the remaining, I guess, I suppose if we count Sunday as part of this week, then that fits the bill. But I'll be back on Friday with more High Flying Friday, as you can see here on the screen, 5 p.m. Eastern. Where are we going? I don't quite know yet, but I do want to get the yoke and throttle quadrant out for that one. And then SnowRunner Sunday returns to Sunday after a Saturday showing this past weekend. 9 a.m. Eastern. We'll continue with the taking down of Michigan contracts. Trying to 100% another map after 100%ing the Alaskan map. 9 a.m. Eastern this coming Sunday. All right, folks, have a wonderful, wonderful week. We send you off into Hump Day, hopefully with an exciting end to your Tuesday. And be careful with this one. This one is a base thumper. So if you've got your your audio turned up and you've got a woofer, be careful with this one. It's gonna rock the foundation. Y'all have a good one. Stay happy, stay healthy. Until next time. Adios. Goodbye.